Hi, I'm Rachel Wolfson. I'm here today at Data Natives Tel Aviv 2016, and I'm here with Maren Lesche. She's the communications manager at the European Innovation Hub, and she's going to talk to us today about how big data is driving innovation and what she's doing to help drive that.
Hi Rachel, thanks for having me. It's such a great opportunity to be at Data Natives. I hardly ever see so many women on stage talking about deep tech, talking about data, and I'm 100% sure that it's a huge space for women, and there are lots of business models and opportunities for data scientists, female data scientists, and super proud to be here.
Thank you. Well, we're very happy to have you here. What are you doing with big data to drive innovation?
I think data is a new currency nowadays. I work with startups a lot. I work with startups in IoT. I work with startups in healthcare. And I see how strongly they build business models on data, how they realize that data is more than just a simple email address, but it's all about detecting pattern, it's all about moving forward, and it's quite powerful. So I don't work with data myself, but I see a lot of people working with data, and I can also advise them how to use these data to create a strong, powerful, and also sustainable business in healthcare and IoT specifically.
Okay. Do you have any specific use cases you can maybe tell us about? How are people using data in the healthcare field, for example?
To give you a good example how data is used nowadays in healthcare, there's one startup talking here at Data Natives called Voiceit. I started working with Voiceit a few years ago. It's an Israeli startup in healthcare, and the core product is Talkit. And Talkit is detecting pattern of speech. It's a speech recognition software for people with disabilities. So the more data there are available, the easier it is to detect the pattern of the voice. So we're talking about people with strong accents. We're talking about people that suffered a stroke. We talk about people that are preborn. But we also could talk about people that have any kind of disabilities, Alzheimer, MS. So without the data Voiceit collects within the product, it wouldn't be possible to talk for people. So imagine people that had a stroke and want to continue living a productive life. So a big data project like Talkit, powered by an Israeli startup in the healthcare field, can change their lives.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree. So you live in Berlin, right? What do you think of the Israeli Berlin tech ecosystem, and how can these startups help one another?
A lot of Berlin teams, a lot of Berlin startups look towards the startup nation Israel to learn, to see how you can build up a strong community, how you can support each other. There are definitely differences in the approach. As far as I've seen, a lot of German startups are super focused on creating a sustainable product. I've seen a lot of Israeli startups that go and jump, they take the leap, they go for exit, they push really hard, but they also accept failure. So if something doesn't work out, they have a new idea. And in Berlin, we stick to sort of keep the idea running. It's hard to find the right timing to cut it off. But it's also a great opportunity, I see, to exchange more ideas, also cultures, and bring people back and forth. There's a new program that's just started with the German Startup Association. It's a new exchange program, and there are a lot of Israeli and German ambassadors in the program. And the core message of the program is to foster these kind of exchange, and it's only possible on a personal level. So you have to bring people from Israel to Germany, and you have to bring Germans to Israel to actually experience what the culture and the startup community is all about.
Right, yeah. And I know we want to get more women involved in tech and more women involved with startups, all around the world. What's your advice? Do you have advice for encouraging women? I mean, you've been in this field for a while and you're considered a startup expert. So could you offer advice for getting more women involved?
At the end, it's all about getting stuff done, taking the leap, and it's a risk. I've seen a lot of female entrepreneurs. There are more female entrepreneurs in Israel than in Germany. It's also due to the funding situation, but on the other hand, it's all about self-esteem as I see it. You don't have to be an engineer, you don't have to have a perfect business idea, but you have to get started. So I encourage women, and that's what I did in the beginning, to talk to other successful women, because it's a fairly positive response you get, and it's encouraging for you to also follow that path. So what we do a lot in Germany, and specifically in Berlin, we encourage successful women in tech, but also women that failed, to spread the word, to talk about their journey, and also encourage especially young entrepreneurs to see startup and entrepreneurship or freelancing as a career opportunity, not the normal career opportunity your parents might support, but as a super cool career opportunity that gives you the freedom to follow up creative ideas you have.
Right, yeah, and I completely agree with you. It's all about mentorship and encouragement. Yeah. I think that you're a great mentor, and you work with a lot of startups. So if somebody wanted to reach out to you, how would they do that? Do you have Twitter, or do you use social media you might want to tell us about?
Yeah, it's actually pretty important, I think, for any kind of entrepreneur to focus on spreading the word and having an online profile early on, because even investors are checking up if you are active, if you are around, if you talk to the most important people. So I use all the social media channels. I'm super strong in LinkedIn because it's a great way to connect on a business level. And I also encourage people to use Twitter and Instagram to spread the word. When I talk with female entrepreneurs that are a little bit more introvert, I always advise them to go to smaller meetups, to enter the stage, to talk about insecurities, but also ideas. And I'm also happy to give advice. I mentor at Startupbootcamp. I also mentor at Impact. I mentor at smaller projects in Berlin. So also reach out to the mentors, to like-minded people via email, via Twitter, via LinkedIn. We're happy to support. Don't be shy.
Thank you. And what's your Twitter handle, just so everyone can know?
The Twitter handle is Maren_Lesche. And you can also check me out at Start Challenges, because I also run a blog called Startup Challenges.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're very happy to have you here at Data Natives.
Had a great time.
Thank you.